welcome back to Wrestling Flash. In this WWE and all things wrestling video we are going to look at. Not okay, Alexa Bliss sends a crucial message. RK Bro Wrestlemania plans changed. Dean Ambrose major WWE return WrestleMania spoiler. Mustafa Ali publicly shares a warning, and more. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, so you are the first to know when we upload a new video. Ronda Rousey breaks silence after getting brutalized by Charlotte Flair on WWE SmackDown. WWE superstar Ronda Rousey had some tough words for Charlotte Flair after their physical altercation on SmackDown this week. This week's edition of the Blue Brand saw the Queen call out the former UFC star as she didn't want to wait until WrestleMania to eviscerate the latter. It didn't take long for things to get physical as both women traded blows. Ultimately, Charlotte was able to get the better of Rousey after hitting her with a kendo stick. Flair ended the night by putting the rowdy one through an announce table. Never resting on her laurels, Rousey took to Twitter to send a message to the SmackDown Women's Champion. Here's what the arm collector had to say. "At a mess, Charlotte, WWE, the kind of pain you brag about inflicting on me isn't even enough for me to eat for breakfast. It's the pastry I eat with my coffee before breakfast because I don't want to drink my mocha latte on an empty stomach." And the new hashtag WrestleMania 38, Rousey tweeted. The two biggest stars of the WWE Women's Division are slated to go head-to-head on night one of the most stupendous two-night WrestleMania in history. The feud between the two started at the Royal Rumble after the baddest woman on the planet won the 30 women over-the-top elimination bout to earn the right for a title match at the Showcase of Immortals. Rousey wasted no time in going after the Queen, stating she has unfinished business with. The last few weeks have seen the two women leave no stone unturned in an attempt to get the better of each other. So far, Charlotte Flair has had the upper hand in this historic feud. The 13-time women's champion slammed Ronda Rousey on a car last week, followed by a crossface on the former UFC champion. Who do you think will come out on top in this feud between Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey? Sound off in the comments and let us know. RK Bro WrestleMania plans changed. According to the latest reports, WWE is on course to add a twist to the WrestleMania 38 match between RK Bro and the Street Profits. Randy Orton and Riddle, known as RK Bro, recently won the Raw Tag Team Championships by defeating Alpha Academy and Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. RK Bro ended the 56-day run of previous champions Alpha Academy with the win. It was reported that Orton and Riddle would be heading to WrestleMania 38 to defend their titles against the Street Profits. But the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter suggests WWE is planning to make the match a three-way encounter. The team to be added to the mix would be that of Chad Gable and Otis. Alpha Academy. The key new stuff is in Uso's SmackDown Tag Team title defense against Nakamura and Rick Boogs and a Raw Tag Team title defense, which has been announced as Randy Orton and Riddle versus the Street Profits, but will be adding Chad Gable and Otis to make it a three-way. Alpha Academy member Chad Gable said he'd never be on the receiving end of a mid-air RKO again. Gable was caught mid-air by the Viper while attempting a moonsault on the March 10th episode of Raw. Appearing on WWE's The Bump, Gable pointed out he has already started training to avoid such incident. That was not awesome. It was ridiculous in the sense that it is never going to happen again. Because immediately back to the tape study, we took care of it. We have been training our necks. We are even training to avoid that, and it will not be repeated because the master does not make the same mistake twice. Thank you. What do you think of WWE's new plans for the Tag Team Championships? Sound off below. Mustafa Ali publicly shares a warning. WWE superstar Mustafa Ali recently sent a public warning about being capable of beating everyone's favorite superstars. Ali, who publicly asked for his release from the company, did not forget to mention that he can only go around squaring off against others when things are sorted. He sent out his warning via a Twitter post that read, "A humble and fair warning. As soon as all this gets sorted, I'm gonna absolutely body all of your faves." The SmackDown superstar has not appeared on WWE TV since late last year. Previous reports have stated that he was given time off as part of paternity leave. However, it was later claimed that he had only asked to miss one show and was also involved in a heated backstage exchange with Vince McMahon. Despite Ali repeatedly asking for his release, WWE did not grant him his request. The former Retribution leader then confirmed that he would be free to work in other companies after 2.5 years. In the meantime, he plans to sit out his contract. A WWE viewer recently pointed out that Mustafa Ali should work on developing more character and personality instead of only focusing on his wrestling. This led to Ali acknowledging those comments, and he responded by pointing out how he has worked tirelessly to develop a character. He said that people should base their opinion on research and not an assumption. Ali also used older WWE videos to assert his point further. He further went on to compare his position with NBA star Stephen Curry. Ali said that no one yells at the basketball player for shooting from the bleachers, and he used the same logic to justify his stance. "I appreciate the kind tone in your suggestion," said Ali. "Please allow me to share mine. Before suggesting a performer should work on something, Ask yourself if your suggestion is based on assumption or research. A quick glance on my timeline will show you numerous character promos. Since I'm on the subject, these training videos sometimes get comments like "tell a story and slow down." Guys, I'm almost 20 years in the game. I'm fully capable of doing all that. These training videos are equivalent to trick shots you'll see from athletes across sports. It is worth noting that Ali also threw his hat in the ring when Marvel held open auditions for the role of Blade. While he made it clear that he wants to be a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there is no other update on that front. Not okay. Alexa Bliss sends a crucial message. Alexa Bliss has yet again urged her fans to stop falling for catfishers who pretend to be her on social media. Bliss is one of the most popular female stars in all of WWE. She boasts a whopping 5.6 million followers on Instagram and 1.7 million followers on Twitter. With such a large fan following, it isn't surprising that Bliss receives tons of messages from fans on a daily basis. Unfortunately, the former women's champion has had to deal with some crazy fans over the year. She sent out a bunch of tweets earlier tonight, requesting that her fans stop falling for scammers who pretend to be her on social media sites. Bliss finished off by urging them to stop sending death threats to her, as well as her fiancé Ryan Cabrera, on Twitter. And I really hate that this needs to be said again. No, you are not talking to me on any other social outlet. No, you do not get DMs from a personal act from me. No, we are not dating. No, I am not asking for money, and death threats to me and my fiancé are not okay, wrote Bliss. She stated in another tweet that whoever was pretending to be her was not her and that fans should stop communicating with that person. Alexa Bliss then reiterated that death threats are not okay. In late 2021, Bliss sent out a tweet addressed to her fans, making it clear that she only has a single Twitter and Instagram account. For those who think they've spoken to me on a private account or Google Hangout or any other form of communication, it is not me. It is someone pretending to be me. I hate that I have to repeat this so much. This is my only act and I only have one IG, Bliss wrote. Alexa Bliss and several other wrestlers have had issues with catfishers in the past. For those who aren't aware, catfishers are people who pretend to be someone else online. Scammers take advantage of gullible people on the web and extract money from them. Last year, an unruly fan attacked Seth Rollins on an episode of WWE Raw. It was later revealed that the fan was a victim of a scammer who extracted money from him by pretending to be Rollins. Dean Ambrose major WWE return Wrestlemania spoiler. Paul Heyman will be at ringside for what has been advertised as the biggest Wrestlemania match of all time. Roman Reigns will take on Brock Lesnar in a champion versus champion title unification bout in the main event of Night 2, WrestleMania Sunday. In a tweet, Heyman posted an interesting photo of a WrestleMania spoiler featuring a former AEW World Champion. Paul Heyman was fired by the Tribal Chief in late 2021, and it led to him realigning with Lesnar. However, at the Royal Rumble, Reigns cost the Beast Incarnate the WWE Championship as Heyman helped him and Bobby Lashley to get one over Brock Lesnar. In an interesting tweet, Paul Heyman posted a photo of action figures, with former AEW World Champion Jon Moxley seen in the background. It was an interesting tidbit to see as Moxley has been with All Elite Wrestling for nearly 3 years now. We're not sure why Heyman decided to put him in the background, but it seems like it was done by design. Heyman has been one of the key figures in wrestling history and not just WWE. He once accused WWE of stealing the edgy ECW products concept and labeling it as the Attitude Era. He has constantly been in important positions both on and off screen, and it has been nearly 1.5 years since he aligned with the Tribal Chief on SmackDown. While he has managed other superstars in the past, none have had the impact the same way Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns have. The early stages of the 2021 feud between Reigns and Lesnar centered around Heyman and where his allegiance lies. He proved where it did at the 2022 Royal Rumble, and it will be interesting to see if there are any more